Hello, 8th graders. You are about to start the Trip Around the World assignment. Please make sure as your first step that you add this assignment to your planner. You should see the due date on the whiteboard. It is also in the calendar. So make sure you've added this to your planner before moving on. All right, here are the directions. The goal of this trip is to plot and graph a flight pattern around the planet. So you're trying to get around the globe. You have to do it in at least 4 flights, and you're going to calculate your speed for the whole thing and then graph it. So there are several steps that you need to go through, and I'm going to walk you through each one. But all the requirements are here, and I'm going to add kind of one extra one as we talk. So number 1, the first place that you need to go is you need to go to this site, and it's going to give you a list of cities. The cities that are on this map are the only ones that you're allowed to fly through. So even though there are definitely flights to more cities, like for example, in Europe, than just London, Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, these are the only ones, if you want to fly through Europe, that you're allowed to fly through. As you can see, in Southeast Asia, there's a lot more choices, so that might guide your decision making as you plot your course. The next part of this is that as you, and let me back up, you're going to add those places that you choose to this map to show me what your plan is as step 1. Now, here's the part that I need to add in. In order to fly around the world, you have to fly off of either the right edge of this map or the left edge of this map and pop up on the other. So in other words, there's not like, all right, I'm going to leave from Denver, go to Europe, and then loop off the page to the north. No, you have to go across the east or across the west and show up on the other side. Going to step 2. The second link that you're going to go to looks like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to type in the name of the starting city. So everyone's going to be starting in Denver. And you're going to type in the location of the next place. So let's say that the next place I wanted to go to was London. I'm not even sure if any flights do that, but here's what it shows me. It's showing me a distance of 7,540.28 kilometers. So this is giving me a distance that I need for the first row. So I would type in like London as my destination city, and the destination was that, or the distance was that number that I just figured out. So London, and my distance was 7540.28. 7540.28. Okay, so the next box over is my total distance traveled so far. Since I've only gone to one city so far, my total distance traveled is 7540.28. But as I start adding in more cities, so the next place I'm going to be leaving from is London. And let's see, maybe after that, I'll go to Delhi. So if that was the next place I was going to be going to, I would type in how far it is from London to Delhi in this first box. And then the next box over, I have to keep a running total. So this is going to be the box like after I left Denver to London, I've got 7540, and then I'm going to add in the amount from London to Delhi on top of that. So this is going to be my running total box. For the box where it says time to travel in hours, you need to go on to step 3 to figure that out. So that's going to be this site. This is where you're going to type in, let's see, let's figure out my my Denver to London flight. London. It gives you several airports. I'm going to do all of them. And this will give you all the flights that would happen from those 2 places. And it turns out there are a lot of them. It really does not matter. I don't care what time of day you're pretending to leave. You just pick one. So I'm just going to pick the first one off the list. Why not? When you go here, what happens is it's going to give you all of the flight details, and then it's kind of tiny, but here kind of in the middle, it says my total travel time. So it's telling me 8 hours of total travel time. So we're going to go back. My time to travel was 8 hours. This is just like with the miles over here, or the kilometers rather. This is where you're going to keep track of your total. So since my Denver to London was my first part of the trip, it's going to still be 8 hours, but I'm going to keep this column as a running total. Then the last box is where you're going to calculate your speed. So speed is distance over time. You're going to have to plug that into a calculator, figure out your speed. And most jets around the world travel at like relatively similar speeds, but I'm curious to find out if certain airways travel faster. For example, if I go back to those choices, of flights, maybe British Airways travels slower or faster than JetBlue or United. So you might want to play around and check out the different airlines and see if somebody's cutting some corners and going a little faster. The goal is to get around the world as fast as you can in at least 4 flights. You can do more, but at least 4. So at the very end, after you've gathered all of your locations and their distances and times, the last thing that you're going to need to do is graph it all. Time goes on the x-axis down on the bottom. Your distance, we're doing a distance versus time graph, not a displacement, so you're going to have a consistently increasing line. You have distance on the y-axis, and I need to see all of the points plotted.